we're at the quarter post point of the NFL season, and I've got a top 5 list. Top 5 surprises. The most surprising aspects of this 2022 season at this point in time.
You just made the list.
Here we go. Number 5 on this list of the most surprising aspects. The 5th most surprising aspect of this season to this point.
Number 5.
Pete Carroll's kids are all right. How about that? People talking about Pete Carroll's kids. They're going to put him first on the clock. Yeah. Or what? There's another way of seeing it. There's another way of saying it. Hold on. Pete Carroll's kids are all right. Or the Seahawks are not in the crapper. Don't call the cart for this crap joint.
Come on.
No, sir. Pete Carroll's kids are all right, 2-2. By the end of the night, that might be good enough for a piece of first place in the division. And, hold on, Geno Smith is cooking.
Oh, he is cooking.
Geno Smith, through the first quarter of this season, 77.3% completion.
That was pizza. That leads the NFL, right?
That's the highest mark through 4 games among quarterbacks with at least 125 passing attempts ever. And Rashawn Penny is running the ball. And in Detroit yesterday, 0 sacks of Geno. 48 points.
Wow.
How about them apples? 2-2 Seattle Seahawks. That is a surprise. You certainly didn't see it, sir. Everyone talk about them being first on the clock next April.
Not.
That's not walking through that door right now. And with Prez out for a considerable amount of time. No Jamal Adams. They're 2-2. Number 4 on this list, another 2-2 team. You want to talk about surprises? How about the second place Atlanta Falcons? How about that? They're putting Cordero Patterson on the shelf now for the next 4 games. They IR'd him today after he had a surgical procedure this very morning after the win over the Cleveland Browns yesterday. They took the 2-headed rushing monster of the Cleveland Browns and said, okay, Nick Chubb, thanks for coming back to the state of Georgia, but here comes a bunch of guys you've never heard of. And Arthur Smith's team is 2-2. That's good enough for second place. Saints and the Panthers are looking up at the Falcons right now. I thought Desmond Ridder would be the first guy in as a rookie, and Kenny Pickett's already beaten Desmond Ridder to that door. Seeing him, or I guess Bailey Zappi beat everybody. But long story short, Falcons are in a pretty damn good position right now at 2-2, same record as the Bucs. We'll talk about surprises. That's one right there. And first place is on the line next week in Atlanta. What if the Falcons win that game? That's number 4 on the list. Number 3 on the list, Kansas City fans would say, why is this surprising? But the rest of the football world said the AFC West was going to be the toughest division we maybe have ever seen. And the AFC West is not what we thought it was. That's number 3 on the list. Now then, Kansas City fans will be like, well, yeah, it's exactly the way it's been the last 6 years. Everyone else calls us daddy.
Who's your daddy?
But that's not the way this thing was all drawn up. We're supposed to miss Tyreek Hill, and I thought the Raiders had a chance to win the division, and they're 2 back and do take on the Chiefs next week, and they can take a nice step forward in a Monday night Week 5 finale to try and make it a bit of a race. But, you know, I guess the Chargers, you could say, are in this mix, and the Broncos are, despite Javonte Williams now being out for the rest of the season. But this doesn't look like the toughest division in football that's going to threaten the Chiefs' 6 straight division wins right now. That's kind of a surprise, I think, after we talked about the AFC West all offseason long. Number 2, the second most surprising aspect of this season through 4 weeks, and I'm going to say it higher register. The NFC East is the best division in football?
Yeah.
Huh? The only undefeated remaining team through 4 weeks is in the NFC East? And the New York Giants at 3-1? How about this? The Packers, in surviving against the Patriots yesterday, kept them above 500. And as the Giants now head to London, along with the Packers, it's the 32nd London game in the history of the NFL. It's the first one featuring both teams having winning records, because the Giants are 3-1 going there too. And the Cowboys lose Dak Prescott in their home opening loss, and Cooper Rush has won 3 in a row.
MVP.
So I'll say it again, despite the Commanders showing up in Steelers-looking uniforms with Carson Wentz looking Like that Colts quarterback that they sent and banished to D.C.? The NFC East is the best division in football? And then number one on this list, the most surprising aspect to me, everybody thought it could be possible, I guess. With the additions, I guess. And with a new head coach who's kind of a mad scientist, I guess. But number one, the most surprising aspect in my estimation through the first 4 weeks of this NFL season is the Miami Dolphins can win it all. Now, I know Tua got all banged up, and he is, in fact, been announced that he is out for next week against the Jets, and it will be Teddy Bridgewater against the Jets. But when this offense is cooking and Tua looks the way that he looked, and I think Teddy Bridgewater will be able to sling it and may have a tremendous opportunity once again in front of him. But that defense is no joke, and this coach can get these guys open. And in my estimation, they're already one up on the Bills, and they have that in their back pocket all the way to Week 15 if they just can win as many games as the Bills, who are going to play a lot of games at home. The Bills are 3-1 with 3 road games, very tough road games that they've negotiated with only 1 loss in those 3 games. I didn't think the Dolphins could have a chance to win this conference and have a chance to maybe win it all if they can put up points like they have and play defense like they have. And that's my list of the 5 most surprising aspects through 4 weeks.